Welcome to Yogic Fields by Anand. Today we are going to see a topic called Pranayama, and these slides can tell you on a high level what are all the breathing techniques that can be practiced and what are all the advantage and also the contradictions for few pranayama that cannot be practiced by few people. What is pranayama? So everybody's mind would say it's a breathing technique that is used to relax our mind. True. Pranayama is a breathing exercise that's been practiced for gaining energy, for gaining consciousness. But how it happens? Our breath, generally, everybody does inhalations and exhalations, and it is not in our control. But with pranayama, we have controlled breath, and with controlled breath you can have controlled energy and also the controlled mind. Breath awareness before breath control. Basically, awareness of your breath should be there for each and every person. Before you have control of anything, you should be aware of what is going to happen. Any scenario, any situation, if you're aware of it, you can have control. And without awareness, you cannot have control. So, before you have breath control, you should make sure you have breath awareness. Breathing happens automatically, and with pranayama, you have the conscious breathing, and that help you to gain energy and consciousness. This slide talks about pranayama. And what is pranayama? Prana plus ayama. Prana means it's a life force, and ayama means extension. So when these two combine together, it forms pranayama, and that means it's an extension of life force. And talk about the Ashtanga Yoga. We have this pranayama, which is on the fourth limb of Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga. Everybody knows about the eight limbs of Patanjali Ashtanga Yoga, that is Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. And Samadhi is the state where it's the higher conscious level. And we will talk about the eight limbs of Ashtanga Yoga detailedly in a different slide. So these are about the textual foundations where it has been spoke about pranayama. On the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, the pranayama has been defined on the fourth limb, where it defines as the cessation of inhalation and exhalation movement after a steady posture is attained. And also likewise, we have the same on the Hatha Yoga Pradipika. And we also have text on the Gheranda Samhita and also on the 4 and 5 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. So let's talk about the four phases of breath. Every pranayama technique, it has four phases. And before starting pranayama, everybody has to make sure they sit in silence at least for 5 minutes every day to have the awareness about the breath. The pranayama technique is built from these components, that is puraka, antara kumbhaka, rechaka, bahya kumbhaka. Puraha means inhalation. So it's a kind of breath which you're drawing inside through your nose and it expands the lung volume. Antara kumbhaka is the retention of your breath. After you inhale, you hold the breath for few minutes and that builds a complete pressure inside your lungs, and also it strengthens your lungs to have more oxygen inside. Next is the rechaka, which is the exhalation, which is the release of breath either through your nose or through your mouth. And Bhayakumbhaka is the retention of breath after exhale. So once you have done exhaling, you completely hold again to make sure you have the stillness, and you do it very cautiously, and it's been practiced by a lot of people who are scholars on it. We have ratios for inhalation. Maybe you inhale for 1 second, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 2 seconds, and again hold for 4 seconds. So these timing has been practiced by everyone on the yogic field. And when you're new to it, you just practice only the inhalations and only the exhalations. So you inhale for 1 second, you exhale for 2 seconds. So this is how you start the pranayama practice. And you can also have an equal ratio of the breath, like 1 second inhale, 1 second exhale, and you can steadily improve your timing on a weekly basis or a monthly basis, and whatever, I mean, on a phase you go on. So let's talk about a few of the prana nadis and the subtle body. In yogic principle, there are a lot of things that are explained, and we have uh, primarily we talk about nadis. So one is the ida nadi, which is the left channel and left side of your nose, which is the right channel, which is called the Pingala, and Sushumna channel is called the center channel, wherein we breathe out through both the nose. So basically, the Ida Nadi is completely a left channel, wherein you can practice the Chandra Pranayama in case you wanted to have uh, a body cool down. That can be done, and you wanted to have a sleep kind of thing, we can practice Chandra Pranayama. And Pingala is the right channel, which is the right side nadi, wherein we can practice Surya Pranayama in case if you wanted to, if you're suffering from cold or any kind of a symptom, we can practice uh, the Surya Pranayama. It is nothing but the Ida Nadi means the breath would be coming through the left nose. Pingala Nadi means the breath would be coming through the right nose. And Shushma Nadi means it would be coming out of both the nose. And we also can talk about Vayus, the five Vayus. We have the Prana Vayu, Apana Vayu, Samana Vayu, Udana Vayu, and Vyana Vayu. So Prana Vayu is the Vayu, which is an energy that is flowing up towards your chest, heart, or your brain. So Apana Vayu is an energy which flows downwards, like your excretion or your gas, which happens to go through. Samana Vayu is a Vayu which makes sure your energy is completely balanced, and when you have food, the samana vayu takes care of digestion. And udana vayu is a vayu that moves beyond the throat, and it is for the speech in the growth development. Vyana Vayu is a Vayu which is a Vayu that goes completely in your body for the circulation. So these are the foundational techniques. Starting from basic, we have the Nadi Shodhana, uh, which is called the alternate nostril breathing. So this is the base technique which has been taught at the beginning of pranayama. So you inhale through the left, exhale through the right, then you exhale through the right, and you inhale through the right, and you then exhale through the left. So it happens, and you don't have to have a specific timing for Nadi Shodhana in the beginning. So you can inhale for 1 second through the left, then you can exhale for 1 second through the right, then inhale for 1 second through the left, and exhale through 1 second on the left. This is one technique that is easy to practice, and the advantage of this is it basically calms and clears the mind. So this technique, when practiced regularly, it gives you a clear picture of what you want to do and what you wanted to get concentrate, something you wanted to do. Everything you can have a complete picture, so you don't have to uh, have a doubt before doing anything. You just practice this Nadi Shodhana before starting any work, and it'll completely clear your mind, and it makes sure the work is done perfectly. Next is the Ujjayi Pranayama. So this pranayama, it creates a hissing sound. Um, what happens is like it it is called as a victorious or ocean breath, which is basically done to calm your mind. So this Ujjayi Pranayama, it is not, uh, I mean, practiced in the beginning. So you have to breathe in through your nose with the mouth closed, and you have to slightly constrict the back of your throat, and then you have to, I mean, you just close your lips and you just whisper kind of thing. So uh, it is like you're breathing like fogging up a mirror. That happens. You get these kind of different sounds that happens to be. So this pranayama is basically practice to slow your breath rate and also your heart rate, and it gives you a very kind of a calming sensation that happens to be. Next is the sheathkali or sheathkari, wherein like you have to have your teeth clenched, or you have to curl your tongue, and then you have to inhale through mouth and you have to exhale through the nose. And these technique are basically practiced during the heat times, wherein uh, practicing this pranayama can cool down your body and it can protect you kind of from any kind of the diseases. Next is about the Bhastrika, which is the forceful inhalation and exhalation. So with Bhastrika and Kapalabhati and Bhramari, these techniques are practiced and given for normal individuals. And in case if any person has a kind of heart problem, or they have a BP issue, or any kind of stomach elements or something like that, we need to have a caution before practicing these kind of pranayama. Since Bhastrika and Kapalapati, they work on forceful inhalations and exhalations, and that can have some effect on few people who are aged or few people who have some kind of a problem. And Bhastrika is forceful inhalation. Likewise, it is done in Kapalapati is done using a passive inhale and a sharp active exhale. So it's kind of only the exhalations come out, and These two techniques are widely practiced, and it gives you a kind of alertness in your mind and make sure that toxins from your body is completely thrown out. Next is the Bhramari, which is the pranayama with humming exhalations with the ear closed. And this pranayama can be practiced for any kind of stress related disorder or anxiety, or when you're angry, you wanted to calm down, you can practice this pranayama. You just have to close your face with your 5 fingers, with both the fingers, 10 fingers, and you have to just close your nose, inhale, and you have to give a humming sound. Mm. So these Brahmari practice can be done by any person, and it can give you a good sense of calm who is practicing. So what are all the documented and traditional benefits for pranayama? So if you see on the physiological wise, while practicing pranayama, you'll have improved lung capacity and efficiency. So person who are able to start with 1 seconds, 2 seconds, 4 seconds, they can move up to 20, 30, 40, depending upon their body. So one point I need to highlight here is never force your breath. Whatever it is done, just allow your body to equip, give it a time and do it. And while practicing pranayama on a physiological factor, it can also give you a lower resting heart rate, and it makes sure your blood pressure is under control, and you don't have to worry about any kind of heart problems. On the psychological factor, when you practice pranayama, you'll have controlled mind, and you don't need to have uh, energy wastage that would be going on, because normally person who thinks more, he is wasting his energy. A person who works more is also wasting his energy. So energy needs to be conserved and maintained. And when energy is not there, obviously there would be kind of a nervousness, and that would make you physically and mentally drained, and it can give you anxiety and stress. So with pranayama practice, you have better emotional regulation as well. On the energetic and spiritual side, we can have our Idanadi, everything purified. So basically, Ida Pingala Nadi, Sushma Nadi, everything would be purified, and we can have the balance of both solar and lunar energies. And when you practice pranayama regularly for more than 6 months, you can also have your mind in control, and you can prepare your mind for the meditative state as well. So, how to start pranayama? So, first, you can either be seated on the chair, or you can sit down comfortably in Padmasana, Vajrasana, Sukhasana. Make sure you sit down 5 minutes, close your eyes, completely be aware of your breath. Don't start any kind of inhalations and exhalations. Observe your natural breathing ability. So, you inhale, you exhale, you you just check how your body reacts to inhalation and exhalation. So when you inhale, you make sure your stomach is coming out, and when you exhale, the stomach is going inside. So these things needs to be aware before you start the pranayama. Then start with two nostrils inhalation. So you inhale with both the nostrils, exhale with the both the nostrils. You start practicing that. Then you start to inhale with one nostril and exhale with the same nostril. Practice that technique both on the left and the right side. Then you go for left inhale, right exhalation, right inhale, left exhalation. And you practice these separately and do it as a continuous cycle. And if you practice this every day for 15 to 30 minutes, within 3 to 6 months, you will have a stillness wherein you can have uh, your mind and body together in control, where you can start to have your breath retained. So in case if you want to hold your breath, you can practice after 3 months or 6 months. When your body adapts to it, you inhale for 2 seconds and you hold for 8 seconds and exhale for 4 seconds. So likewise, you start in a simple way, do it in pranayama. It is not like a basic regular exercise. Your body needs to adapt. You don't have to force your body for this. And after you complete the pranayama, don't immediately get up for any work. Just be still, do something like, I mean, on a meditative state, be still. Observe your breath again, how your breath works, how the inhalation and exhalation happens, how your body reacts, what's running on your mind, all your thoughts. You just be aware of it. And finally, you can have the pranayama advantage of practicing everything. So these are about a few of the precautions and contradictions on the pranayama. As I told you earlier, uh, few people with asthma or the respiratory conditions or any kind of surgery which has been recently done, or if people are suffering from any kind of a panic disorder or sinus conditions or hypertension, so you have to have extra care with them. And especially people, ladies who are like pregnant, who is on the fourth month, fifth month, seventh to eighth month, we have to make sure they should not have forceful retention or forceful breath. And people who are suffering from heart disease or any kind of vertigo problems, they also need to have a care before practicing the pranayama. So once you want to have a practice for pranayama, find your guru or find your teacher where you can list out all your problems, and I'm suffering from it, which pranayama is suitable for my body, and how many days I should get practiced, and after how many days these kind of pranayama which is not suiting my body can be practiced. So you can have a complete detail so that a teacher can completely analyze you and he can give you what you need to practice. And again, I say, practice with patience. Always have awareness of your breath. Pranayama is the bridge. So you have to take it very slow, very gentle, practice it. Everybody is not perfect in the beginning, and with practice, you get the perfection. From breath to stillness, we have our pranayama that can be practiced every day, which gives you immense benefit, like calming your mind, gaining energy, and the conscious over the universe. Thank you. Om.